Welcome, welcome, welcome. I thank you guys for tuning in once again. Before I get started, I do want to say a special thank you to those of you who tune in on a regular basis, who support the channel. I have to tell you guys thank you. I want to tell you guys thank you because I do appreciate you. You could be doing anything else, you could be listening to anything else, but I do appreciate your support, your contributions to the channel as far as commenting, liking, and most importantly, sharing the information. Even if you do your version of it, please share the information on the channel or things that you find useful. It's not everything, but that you may want to share, but things that you find useful for yourself and for others, feel free to share it not only online but offline. All right. So once again, welcome to everyone. But especially, I want to especially thank those of you who really support me as I try my best to bring you information that I feel is helpful and that will benefit us. And the aim of this channel, let me just say this, the aim of this channel is to help us to have the best and the safest and the most informed transition to the continent or even visit to the continent. I think it's very important for us to provide one another with as much information as possible. I wish I had someone to supply me with this information 22 years ago plus when I first came to the continent. All right, I really wish that I'd had, but I had to do a lot of my own study. I had to learn, I had to observe, and I'm here to help make things easier for some of you. So once again, welcome. All right, so I am here to give us an update on the last year, which was that the Ghana embassy in Washington, D.C. was closed down by the Minister of Foreign Affairs. All right, and they closed it down, just in case you do not know, they closed it down due to fraud. So if you want to go back and listen to that share, you can go back and listen to it. But here is an update on the current status and what you need to know just in case you plan on using that embassy or if you have used it in the past or you're currently waiting on documents from the embassy. All right, it says here Ghana's embassy in Washington, D.C. set to reopen with enhanced integrity measures. All right. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has announced the reopening of the Embassy of Ghana in Washington, D.C. A team of seasoned diplomats have been tasked to run the mission to ensure total systems overhaul, restore integrity in the embassy's operations, and complete ongoing structural reforms. This follows the recall of home-based staff and the suspension of local staff of the Embassy of Ghana in Washington, D.C. So what they did was they had people who they had sent to the embassy in Washington from Ghana. They have recalled them back to Ghana. Get yourselves back to Ghana now, because what was said in the first report is that not only was there a contractor or an employee of the embassy who had created a personal website and had attached it to the official government website and basically was providing services in addition to, I guess, embassy services or maybe expediting those services. I don't know, but he had set up something where he was providing services and charging in between $29 and $60 for these additional services. All right. But it was diverting customers to his personal website, business website. And in that previous share, I shared my experience with coming across this link. And I don't even know if it was from this particular embassy, because they have two major embassies that still exist in the U.S., which is the Washington and the New York. They used to have a Texas consulate there, and it was very efficient, very friendly, very efficient, and they answered the phone. All right. But this situation here, the one that I experienced, I'm not sure if it was from New York or from Washington. I can say that I received the link inside the chat area when I was asked to go to another website. All right. So continuing on, this follows the recall of home-based staff and the suspension of local staff of the Embassy of Ghana in Washington, D.C. In a release by the ministry on Tuesday, it stated that an information technology team has already been deployed to reconfigure the website and payment platforms to do away with all unofficial and unauthorized links associated with the IT system of the embassy. Once again, they were charging fees on a separate website unauthorized by the Embassy of Ghana, and were taking payments from people on that website as well. All right. And so the ministry wishes to inform the general public that the embassy is set to reopen on Thursday, 29th May. We assure that the measures have been put in place to clear the backlog. Any inconvenience resulting from our necessary interventions is deeply regretted. Necessary interventions is deeply regretted. It added, according to the release, all inquiries may be channeled to the following for prompt resolution, and I'll provide that in the description box. And I agree that it was necessary intervention. I appreciate them putting this out here, letting us know what is going on. Unfortunately, the Minister of Foreign Affairs is receiving some backlash from some political members. I don't get into the politics, but I will say that there are some people who are politicians in the country, I believe from the opposing party. I'm not sure if that's the only group, but they feel like he should not have put this information out here. He should not have let the public know what's going on. Don't let the certain people know what's going on. And I think that is wrong. I think he did the right thing by making it public. He did exactly what needed to be done. He said what needed to be said, and he took swift action. So thumbs up, hats off, and salute to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Ghana for taking care of this, all right, and making it public, because the public was defrauded and the public needed to be aware of what has happened and the steps that they were going to take to fix this. Okay. It said the ministry additionally conveys that the unfortunate circumstances which led to the closure of the embassy have been brought to the attention of the Auditor General and the Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana for further action and appropriate sanctions. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs takes this opportunity to reassure of its commitment to enhancing service delivery to the public, safeguarding transparency and accountability, and protecting Ghana's esteemed image in the Committee of Nations, or Committee of Nations, or Committee. Excuse me, I'll look that up. All right, it added. Okay, so basically, they want to make sure that people know around the world that Ghana is not just talking, all right? They are serious about dealing with anything that goes against the standards and the integrity of this nation, and they're willing to take public and swift action to take care of things that work against this agenda. All right, and so I'm proud of them. I'm very happy. I think it's a good sign. I think it's a good sign that this foreign affairs minister is committed, even if it brings a temporary embarrassment. It's not an embarrassment to the nation. It's only an embarrassment to those who participated in this. This has been going on for years, and at least 5 years, he states. I think it's been longer based on the time period, at least 6 years, based on the time period in which I believe I encountered this. So 5 to 6 years, somewhere around there. But I'm glad that they were able to take care of this. And I also think it should be brought to the attention of the Attorney General of the United States. It should be. It's a crime that has been committed against U.S. citizens, against dual citizens of Ghana, and against others who may just be visiting the country as well. All right, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your perspective, and I hope that you weren't caught up in the middle of this. I'm so glad this came out because of some plans that we have, and so I'm glad that this was taken care of beforehand. I'm not sure if we'll be dealing with this embassy or not, or if we'll be going on with those plans, but in the future, at least we know what to look forward to and what to expect, and not to be directed to any place else. All right, so guys, I appreciate those of you who tune in, those of you who like these kind of discussions and who are not uncomfortable with them. If a person is uncomfortable with bringing out issues that are sometimes unfavorable to those who are involved, they should really examine themselves. Why are you not willing to share all information that can benefit someone else? No one's asking us to come in and speak our personal business online. But if you have information that can save a life, that can protect someone, that can save someone from being defrauded, that can stop someone from being scammed, that can prevent someone's house from being torn down, that can stop people who may have health conditions from being further afflicted due to environmental concerns, or even healthy people being in a situation where their health is being negatively impacted by just providing them information about current things that are going on in the country, like the condition of the water. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Why would you want to hide that information? You need to examine yourself and see, why am I willing to hide this information, or why do I feel it's not my responsibility to share this information? And I'm speaking specifically of those who may be promoting Ghana for tours, those who may be selling land, selling houses. You have a duty. All right. You have a duty to be transparent. In the U.S., we have transparency laws when you're dealing with real estate. All right. And I'll be discussing that soon. All right. I'll also be discussing some of your houses is going to be torn down. I'm not cheering that on. I'm just telling you. All right. And if I have to start doing videos and showing, little clips of things that people are telling people, and things that people are doing, and places people are building, and things that are being done contrary to code, so I can warn others, you see this? This house should not be built like this. All right. I will do that. Okay. But let me just start off, just with what I'm going to start off with, and hopefully that will do it, for some. There's always going to be some stubborn people. There's always going to be some know-it-alls, but I thank y'all for those who are willing to listen and to learn and to share this information with others. Okay. It's not about, me having all the information. It's out there for anyone. There are others that are sharing it too, but unfortunately, people don't gravitate to knowledge that is beneficial. They often gravitate to the sensational, all right, and to, something that comes across as a daily soap opera. I don't have any daily soap operas for you. I only have the truth, and I'm not ashamed to share it, and I'm not ashamed to give you information that I feel will be beneficial to you and myself. All right, so in the meantime, you guys have a wonderful day. I thank you for taking the time to tune in. I love you in sincerity and in truth, and in Yah's spirit. Have a wonderful day. Shalom.